place to loaf around. This is no place to loaf around.
Those memories, so dark.
This is no place to loaf around. This is no place to loaf around. This is no place to loaf around. This is no place to loaf around.
The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me.
No place to loaf around.
You're trembling. Is it the cold or just cowardice? Is it the cold or just cowardice? Hey, into the frozen void.
Let's nip that in the bud.
Detestable. Embrace your searing reckoning! Hey!
Enshroud! I'll uproot!
Not every wound will heal! To the chase!
Evil conquering!
Don't worry, I'll let you that.
Worthless! Keep up!
Embrace your searing reckoning!
Safety first!
Come, put up a fight! The law has... I never...
This is no place to loaf around.
Those memories. So dark.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Wind and cloud! Disappear!
Evasion is futile.
Worthless! Adventure time! Worthless! Here! Worthless!
Everybody stand!
Get out of
Wind strike! The eye sweeps the lands!
the birds call!
Adventure time!
The wind knows me.
Shattered! Light it up! Teamwork is... About to get dicey. Gotcha!
Get out of my... As one with wind and cloud!
Is eternal! Purge all obstacles! Going in! Into the wind! Follow my rays!
Clouds high. The birds call!
Let's light it up!
Time to go.
Perish!
One with nature.
Spin right over your head! Let me try! Let's light it up!
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. Evil conquering.
Everybody step!
Too quiet. Here.
Only emptiness awaits.
wind knows it.
Good roll. All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm finished.
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer. One with nature, into the wind. Ka! Sha!
We can have my...
Time to go.
Very weird. Ow. Thì hỏi ở ngoài trời có cao mà sao con nhân vật trong này nó cao vậy chứ?
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. Scenery is wonderful. This blade, surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer. I have to the land of my birth.
Đủ. Đủ không biết đang làm cái gì nữa. Sắp ban quà tặng chăng?
You dare overstep your mortal authority? Today, you witness your reckoning!
Đồ tặng không để ý tin nhắn.
The wind knows.
Orders given. Orders received. Rise. Go.
One with nature. One with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
Enraged curse will not absolve you! You stand upon your tomb, though you know it not!
Wheel of life. Faster. Okay, faster. Sacred name. Fortune preserver.
The wind knows.
Experience an eon of suffering!
Life goes on. Coming out aloft.
Into the wind. Time to go.
Wow. Rise.
Time to go.
This realm. If you ever...
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth. This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Try AW.
Love me. I wanna say it loud, but I know you're too lost to love me. I hear it in the way that you say you're thinking of me. You're living in your head and you're trying to get out and be free. And I wanna know, sad boy, why you look so sad, boy? You still be so glad, boy. Why you feel so bad? I will heal you more than time will. Chaos in your mind still. Let me take you back. Tell me, do you want it? 'Cause I can give you what you need. I know that you got it. So let me show you what I see in your madness, baby. You're more than you think. Baby, you're a sad boy. And I know I can set you free. 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 Trust me, you're living with doubt 'cause it looks just can't so ugly. Got a pretty face, but it ain't my chase, so let me get inside your head and show you what's real, oh baby. I just need to know. Sad boy, why you look so sad, boy? You still be so glad, boy. Why you feel so bad? I will heal you more than time will. Chaos in your mind still. Let me take you back. Tell me, do you want it? 'Cause I can give you what you need. I know that you got it. So let me show you what I say it loud, but I know you're too lost to love me. I hear it in the way that you say you're thinking of me. You're living in your head and you're trying to get out and be free. And I wanna know, sad boy, why you look so sad, boy? You still be so glad, boy, why you feel so bad? I will heal you more than time will. Chaos in your mind still, let me take you back. Tell me, do you want it? 'Cause I can give you what you need. I know that you got it, so let me show you what I see in your madness, baby. You're more than you think. Baby, you're a sad boy, and I know I can set you free. 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 Trust me, you're living with doubt 'cause it looks just count so ugly. Got a pretty face, but it ain't my chase, so let me get inside your head and show you what's real, oh baby. I just need to know, sad boy, why you look so sad, boy? You still be so glad, boy, why you feel so bad? I will heal you more than time will. Chaos in your mind still, let me take you back. Tell me, do you want it? 'Cause I can give you what you need. I know that you got it, so let me show you what I see in your madness, baby. You're more than you think. Baby, you're a sad boy, and I know I can set you free. 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 Love me. I wanna say it loud, but I know you're too lost to love me. I hear it in the way that you say you're thinking of me. You're living in your head and you're trying to get out and be free. And I wanna know, sad boy, why you look so sad, boy? You still be so glad, boy, why you feel so bad? I will heal you more than time will. Chaos in your mind still, let me take you back. Tell me, do you want it? 'Cause I can give you what you need. I know that you got it, so let me show you what I see in your madness, baby. You're more than you think. Baby, you're a sad boy, and I know I can set you free. 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 Trust me, you're living with doubt 'cause it looks just count so ugly. Got a pretty face, but it ain't my chase, so let me get inside your head and show you what's real, oh baby. I just need to know, sad boy, why you look so sad, boy? You still be so glad, boy, why you feel so bad? I will heal you more than time will. Chaos in your mind still, let me take you back. Tell me, do you want it?
I think this time it turned out.
Где черный пёс?
Здесь каких собак? Корова.
Ooh, you restaurant? That place isn't even worth mentioning. Come and try some creative cooking. Why yours poor make the same mistakes over and over? Ooh, you restaurant? That place isn't even worth mentioning.
They have a lot more use cases. Obviously, Fischl got very good. Sarah got like
scenery is
extremely
wonderful.
good. Like Fischl has been
Surely
good. but-
enough to convince
Anyways,
anyone to
Kuching
become a
is
wanderer.
also one of those winners. So you guys may or may not know the history of the channel. I've rolled about 13 Kuchings. Every 50-50 I lose goes to Kuching. Nowadays, it used to be just all Jean and stuff. But since we have such a powerful Kuching, we're actually going to be talking about a team today that actually makes Kuching an incredibly powerful character. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly how it works. Because it's 294 elemental mastery additions to all of its 94 elemental mastery because of the domain we're in, and then we're going to be using Fischl as well on 4-piece Thundering Fury. This is because Thundering Fury got the Dendro damage additions to all of its buffs to damage and stuff, so this is actually very good here. It's going to an attack percent sans, but in general EM is going to be a little bit better for this build. I have about 294.
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Find that running a slightly higher attack and a slightly lower elemental mastery for Keqing was still better than running a higher elemental mastery and slightly lower attack, all else being equal.
Lady Coaching. Oh my god, how long has I been update one coaching? Team I'll be running coaching co-invested with each other with our Dendro Lumine for providing Dendro reaction. Still basically faster. However, here is the point, guys. The old team here is running with Kazuha, who is a 5-star character boater. Team that is basically equal to an absolutely 5-star invested team, which means that just having aggravate Kuching is already very good. Not to mention later on we'll be having much better support. First have absolute best damage gladiator, but every best artifact sets in terms. Next build, we will be looking at our Gilded Dream, because this is currently, I would say, the best artifact sets in terms of EM build. And then here are the stats for this build.
Let me try.
And then finally we have our Thunder Soother set. Here are going to be the Soother set being at 31 seconds, with our Thundering Fury set being at 33 seconds, and in last place is going to be our EM set. Now there are obviously some discrepancy in my team run, but I've already done each team run for like 10 times to get the best out of all the runs and then mix it to the videos here for the comparison. So usually running coaching in a normal DPS build will yield you more consistent results. I don't normally recommend you to run full EM build coaching, but you still want to invest a little bit in her attack percentage plus electro damage bonus, because the thing with running full EM build is that you're very reliant on having your Dendro Lumines apply Dendro full you're missing with investing in an extra 18% attack bonus of a 2 best artifact sets, and giving is that I would say our Gilded Dream set here is going to be her best overall artifact set, simply because you're getting an 80 EM bonus, and the 4-piece is giving you a 14% attack bonus with a 100 EM bonus as well. The percent attack bonus or for her a rod actually is still going to be
Stand with me! Out of my way!
Say no more! Finally,
This is the Nile Delta in Egypt. It's been growing steadily since the
Love me. I wanna say it loud, but I know you're too lost to love me. I hear it in the way that you say you're thinking of me. You're living in your head and you're trying to get out and be free. And I wanna know, sad boy, why you look so sad, boy? You still be so glad, boy, why you feel so bad? I will heal you more than time will. Chaos in your mind still, let me take you back. Tell me, do you want it? 'Cause I can give you what you need. I know that you got it, so let me show you what I see in your madness, baby. You're more than you think, baby. You're a sad boy, and that way I can set you free. 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 Trust me, you're living with doubt 'cause it looks just can't so ugly. Got a pretty face, but it ain't my chase, so let me get inside your head and show you what's real, oh, baby. I just need to know, sad boy, why you look so sad, boy? You still feel so bad, boy, why you feel so bad? I will heal you more than time will. Chaos in your mind still, let me take you back. Tell me, do you want it? 'Cause I can give you what you need. I know that you got it, so let me show you what I see in your madness, baby. You're more than you think, baby. You're a sad boy, and I know I can set you free. 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 I can set you free.
Xóa bỏ hoàn toàn tình trạng đau cột sống cổ.
Natural Lawson. So there are another one from Natural Lawson. So there are two types of Lawsons.
Yep. I'm getting very full, gentlemen.
We're nearly done. We're nearly done. There is the Natural Lawsons, which tends to have more healthy options, healthy snacks, healthy meals. It's actually pretty good. It's a pretty cool marketing strategy. And so they have their own brand of stuff, and this is the cranberry cookies with GABA.
Cranberry cookies?
GABA.
GABA, as it says.
Isn't GABA like the stuff they put in energy drinks?
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cranberry cookie is what it says in Japanese.
Very good Japanese. Nihongo Jozu.
Yeah, I was looking for GABA, and I was like, "Where's GABA?"
It's literally at the top. It says GABA.
GABA.
You're gonna point at the camera.
They literally spell GABA in English.
Yeah.
It's like
GABA.
fuck it. It's called GABA.
They just gave up on their own language.
Enriched chocolate. That's what GABA is?
aminobutyric acid.
So this
I know
is
exactly what
this
that
is supposed to be healthy. So what is it like?
Yeah, so the stuff in natural Lawson is way more healthy, so it should be healthier.
So one of these is that one bag? 65 calories? Is that right? 17.5 grams. Oh, that might be. I'll just give it a shot anyway. You can tell me, Joey. I'll hand it to you.
Okay. There you go. Okay. That's this looks like a diet. This looks like a diet.
Like a Belvita?
Yeah, this looks like a diet snack. It looks like a diet bar, honestly.
How many calories? Is it bag or like what is it?
So it's per meal.
Meal?
Yeah, which is 17.5 grams. Oh, this is 35 grams. So okay, so 2.
So it's 100.
So half a bag is 65 calories.
That's not bad.
Time to go.
For like what looks to be like a very heavy snack.
Yeah. So let's have a taste.
That's literally like a Belvita.
It is a Belvita.
What's a Belvita?
It's like the diet like cookies or diet biscuits. With like it's all, you have them in every country.
Yeah.
This tastes like something like my grandma would have. You know? Like something like it's like, grandma, can I have some snacks? And it's just like, here you go.
That's not actually. I quite like that.
I like that. Tastes
That's
good.
nice. I actually, if I had a natural Lawson closer to me, I'd probably get that.
Yeah.
That's actually fuck. You know,
Cranberry flavored stuff is actually really good.
Yeah, I'm taking that home with me. A little Ziploc bag. Fantastic.
Should we talk about some of the stuff?
Okay. Yeah, I want to talk. I really like these. These are the ramune flavored
Candy.
I
have an ancient video on my channel from like 6 years ago where I bought like a box of those candy.
Right.
And I said to myself, would I be able to change ramune candy back to ramune? Was it? What? It's an ancient video on my channel.
What is this, a Vsauce video?
Yeah. So what I did was I emptied out like 30 of these
don't put it on the
into
table.
a bowl.
Grease on there. No. Oh god.
I emptied like 30 of these into a bowl and I crushed them into a powder and then I mixed it with carbonated water to see if it would go back into a ramune. Spoilers, it doesn't go back into a ramune.
I only ever had the drink a few times. It's quite nice, but I mean,
ramune is basically what? How would you describe ramune? It's basically like a Japanese lemonade, right?
Yeah, Japanese lemonade.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love these. This.
You love this?
Dude, I grew up with this shit.
Yeah.
No, okay.
It's like eating a kid.
I eat this and I'm like, I taste a childhood I never had.
No wonder you got like 10 gone because you're fucking eating kids shit all the time. Pretty what? Were you drinking like breast milk still all the time? Like, what's going on?
Like I would eat this. What Connor has right there, chocolate babies.
I love these.
These are great.
These are terrible. It's like you think you're not eating a lot.
Yeah.
But because it's so fucking dense.
I look at this and I thought it was going to be a Tic Tac. That's that.
Right.
The first time I tried this, I thought
like
it
a
was.
Tic Tac,
It looks like a Tic Tac, and then you bite into it, and it's just like
chocolate.
It's pure chocolate,
Good
but
chocolate as well, though.
it's the most inoffensive chocolate that it's like. It's the good chocolate you would eat as a kid.
There's a tag at the bottom.
There was a tag. You did it.
Yeah, literally just Tic Tac chocolate flavor.
Yeah, pretty much.
It makes chocolate way too easy to eat because you just.
The supermarkets have the big versions.
Yeah.
And if I get them, it's almost impossible not to eat it.
It's like eating sprinklings. And
that's my childhood right there, lads.
This big as well. Tiny.
That's my childhood.
That's
right
really nice milk chocolate. That's good shit.
The other thing though that is my childhood is these things. Umaibo.
I hate these. These suck.
Have you tried these?
No.
Oh yeah, you can try it.
Okay.
So they're literally called umaibo, which means tasty stick. That's literally what it's called.
Okay.
And it's basically, oh god, how do you even explain it? So basically, there's like these have been around since like the fucking 20s. Like, these are ancient, and they're 10 yen each. Right, fucking nothing. But feel how light that is.
These are the space raiders.
Oh.
These are the space raiders of Japan, I think.
Yeah.
This is packaged air.
Yeah. If you throw this high enough into the air, it'll just go off.
This
into the
has
stratosphere.
no weight at all.
What's the actual weight written on the package?
Dozens. 6 grams.
6 grams.
I'm pretty 6 grams, but I guarantee.
I'm pretty sure most of the grams is the
Is the
packaging.
packaging.
It's the fucking packaging. I'm literally holding air here.
So I have the corn potage flavored, which is like corn soup.
Dude, this
flavored.
just looks like This just looks like Monsters crisps.
I've got the cheese one.
You should try it.
Oh,
What is this flavor?
This is the mentaiko flavor, the codro.
This is just Monsters crisps.
Yeah,
isn't it? This
no,
looks
it's like
Mon-
Monsters Crisp if they were made by Space Raiders. Do you have Space Raiders in Australia?
I've heard of those. Yeah.
All right.
All right,
That's right.
There's a big what's it?
It takes away all the moisture in your mouth.
Yeah, it's a Monster's Crisp.
It's just a What's-It.
Yeah.
It's a big What's-It, man. This is cheese. It's just a What's-It.
Honestly, I mean, I can understand why that was your childhood.
Americans, this is a Cheeto.
I mean,
what
honestly,
this
dude, like, imagine, like, you're like a 5-year-old, right?
Yeah.
You're given like 100 yen of like just, you know, pocket money from your grandma.
Of course, you're buying 10 of these.
I'm buying 10 of these. Like these motherfuckers are gonna fill me up until dinner. On 5-year-old, right?
Yeah. Cheese. It's just a What's-It.
Honestly, I mean, I can understand why that was your childhood.
Americans, this is a Cheeto.
I mean, honestly, dude, like, imagine, like, you're like a 5-year-old, right?
Yeah.
You're given like 100 yen of like just, you know, pocket money from your grandma.
Of course, you're buying 10 of these.
I'm buying 10 of these. Like these motherfuckers are gonna fill me up until dinner.
Honestly, I mean, who doesn't love fucking What's-Its or Monster's Crisps or whatever?
Red Bull vì cà phê ủ lạnh mới.
Now survival is just, the rules have changed, man. It used to being a Sigma male, man. Now it's hard. They gotta pay bills. Fuck, man.
I can't be Sigma male while I pay the bills. Fuck that shit.
Sigma male, don't pay your bills. Number one.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Trash Taste Podcast. I'm Joey and I'm with the boys. Hello.
Was that the intro?
Yep.
Man, Joey intros have really gone downhill in the past year, man. Remember like salty salmon spices or whatever the fuck?
What are you, the fucking YouTube comments? I like the old intros better. I like the old studio better.
You know, I remember when Joey put effort into his intros. And then
you remember when Joey cared about Trash Taste?
Yeah, right.
Me too.
Remember when like half of my intros would get the episodes demonetized?
It was so annoying. We lost like thousands of dollars because Joey just couldn't resist being Australian.
Joey was just being Australian.
Yeah. I can't help it, man. I have to fight the urge to say all the bad words.
Can you guys tell I'm absolutely ripped today? I went to the gym for the first time in 2 months.
I'm like, what?
I'm absolutely pumped right now.
First time in 2 months?
First time in 2 months. My body is dying.
So you signed up to the new gym at your new place?
I did. And it's different, and the etiquette is slightly different, so it kind of threw me off.
Wait, did you sign up by yourself?
Yeah.
Impossible.
I don't believe you.
I was trying to.
I don't believe you.
I was trying to remember how I did it, and it was confusing because
it was all a blur.
He was asking things, and I was like, yes.
Well, that's just every interaction I have with a Japanese person in Japan. They ask me something, and I just say yes.
Here's how good my Japanese has got to this point now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I'm kind of filling in the blanks. It kind of feels like you're doing one of those Mario Party mini games where you see a part of the sequence, and you're like, I think I know where the sequence is going.
It's like going into a Mario Party game without looking at the controls, right? It's like
100%.
I think this is how it works.
So now I'm getting to the point where I'm accustomed to the normal flow of signing up to things, so I can kind of understand what they're saying, and I understood most of what was told to me, and a lot of it was just like, hey, read this, and I went, oh, cool.
It's just really weird when they pulled the knife out and maybe sign something by blood. You know? It's like, oh, that's I guess that's tradition.
The rectal exam was a bit weird, but
the probe was a little longer than I thought.
So did the signing up take as long as the original sign up?
No. But I signed up to Anytime Fitness.
Anytime Fitness. Okay, yeah, I think sure.
Is it? I don't know.
Fact check that.
Can we fact check that?
Listen, when I went in there, it looked American.
Yeah. They all do because all the gyms use white people to advertise. Advertise their gym.
At the front of our old gym, there was like it was like 5 banners of just like really attractive white guys. And girls. Like,
it is weird.
I've never seen a Japanese person be advertised on a gym before.
It is weird how Japanese gym is like astounding.
I think it might just be because like going to the gym in this country is like a fucking luxury because of how expensive that shit is.
No, it's not just that. Who the fuck? What Japanese person has time to go to a gym?
Also, most of them are in shape, right? And the people that aren't in shape, I don't think they care about that.
No.
Yeah. They're like, I've got everything I need in my life.
Yeah.
I've got my 7 lives.
It's like, why are you working out? Aren't you just like naturally in shape? Like, fuck you.
How did you get fat? How did that happen? Basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
I signed up, and I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure Anytime Fitness is American. We had a fact check.
Was it American?
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty sure it was,
just
right?
assumed it was American.
Okay.
That sounds American. Like JoyFit 24. Yeah, that doesn't fucking American.
Yeah.
That sounds Japanese. That sounds like what a Japanese people think American people think of gyms.
Yeah.
Yes, you're joyful and you're
fit and it's open 24 hours. There you go.
So it's a joy. I mean, Anytime Fitness is much better. Anyway, signed up to it. Didn't really know what the fuck was going on. They took my picture. I got the key thing. I signed my life away. They asked for my card.
Yeah.
It worked out. So I believe I'm signed up. So
I won't help you up.
That's good.
I walked in yesterday and nobody stopped me. So.
That's good. That's good.
One thing I've noticed about moving is like, having to cancel memberships and having to cancel stuff is like 10 times easier than signing up to something.
Which is, it's the opposite in the West, right?
Yeah. Because like I was dreading having to cancel my gym membership because I remember when we signed up to a gym membership, it took like 45 minutes to an hour of just reading forms.
Yeah.
So I was just like, so me and Cindy had to go cancel our gym membership and we said one word. We were just like, we would like to cancel our membership and we had to sign one piece of paper. It took 5 minutes. Why can't signing up be that easy?
Yeah, why is
like no leaving fees? Just like use the gym until like the end of the month. Like
it's like everything you're not supposed to do as a business, right?
Yeah.
It's like why? It's like I love how hesitant they are to sign you up to shit. It's like, are you sure you want to give us money every month? It's like, yeah, that's why I'm fucking here. Just let me in, for Christ's sake.
Exactly.
But then the moment you leave, they're like, oh, thank God. All right, easy. Here you go. Take it. Get the fuck out. It's
like I had to change over my internet as well, and that was surprisingly painless because they were like, no worries. Did you want to cancel your internet or did you want to move to a new place? And I'm just like, it's which one's easier? And I'm like, it's both the same. It's just what.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, where's the catch? Where's the catch?
Yeah, but then why is it like such pulling teeth when you're like signing up for like water or gas at a new place? It's like, are you sure you want water in your place? It's like, yes, please, thank you. Like I only so I moved to our current place like what, almost 6 months ago, right? And I only just finished finalizing my water stuff.
What? Really?
Yeah, because like for some reason, because I got like a new bank account. And with it came a new card. And for some reason, they didn't allow me to use my new bank account because it's not under the same name or some kind of
you
bullshit.
said the B word, bank.
Yeah.
In Japan.
And started sweating 5 minutes ago.
That is true. Yeah, so I was like, but I'd done it before at my previous place and it was pretty painless, right? So I was like, okay, I mean, it's just changing a bank account. Like, how hard could it be? Famous last question. How hard could it be?
Nothing with the word bank in Japan is ever easy.
But what I don't understand, right, is that, so I signed up and I'm like, okay, I want to change to my new bank because my money situation has changed in this new place. And they were like, sure, no worries. We'll send you a form. You can fill out all your information and then mail it back to us. I'm like, all right, email was also a thing, but anyway. So I think about a month after that phone call, finally the form comes in. I was like, all right, I don't know why this took a month to send out, but sure.
Holy shit.
Fill it in 5 minutes, send it off. 2 months later, I get a phone call and they say, so your bank is not able to be used.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, Chotomate. You could have told me that on the phone 3 months ago. Why is it now, after all this like waiting and sending out a form, that you're finally like, JK?
They're going to call you up and be like, yeah, by the way, the rate of inflation has changed so significantly in the past 2 months that we're going to need your details all over again.
Right.
How have you been paying for water since then?
So before, it just used to be like a bank transfer, like every month, like automatically. But since then, I've had to like get the form. They mail you the form that says the amount, and then I have to go to the Family Mart or the convenience nearby and do it by cash.
Yeah.
Which just like fucks me up because sometimes I don't check my mail every day. And then there was 1 month where I almost like got my water stopped.
Oh my God.
Because they just straight up didn't send me my form. And I'm like, and they called me and they were like, so you haven't paid for your thing? And I'm like, you haven't given me the fucking form. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be like, am I supposed to go and go to the
am
I supposed to go to the company being like, so I don't have the form, but like, trust me, I owe you guys this money.
I have to pay.
I have to give you this money.
I've realized, right, that when I first moved here, I thought, oh my God, I can pay my bills at the local convenience store. This is amazing. This is great.
Yeah.
Now I realize it's just to avoid banks. It's just like this this country has set up a system where the banks just don't need to do anything, but they still get to have all your money.
Yeah.
Basically.
What's up with that?
Yeah. And they give you like, what is it, like 0.001% interest or some shit like that?
The interest gets wiped out by every time you want to take out money.
That's true.
So
that is true.
Like you basically, there's less interest than the fees you pay for like any service.
Yeah, Japan is the only country where like hiding your money under your mattress might be a better investment than putting it into a bank.
Honestly, it's probably safer as well, right?
Don't spend money in the country. Like, you don't.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They're like, why would we give you interest? And people are going to keep money in there.
Yeah, there really weirdly is like a weird like money saving mentality in this country, even for people who have the money to spend.
So yeah, apparently one of the reasons they didn't want to give more money out to people during the pandemic is because you don't spend money. So they would just be giving money that wouldn't help stimulate the economy.
Yeah,
because people wouldn't go out. Even if you gave them $1,000, most people were just going to keep it.
Right.
And not going to. Like I
Well,
would.
that surprised me because like domestic tourism is massive. It's just massive.
But it's
here.
It is, right?
It's like 90% of the economy.
Yeah, exactly, right?
But it's like, from what I understand of the domestic tourism here, it is like a massive luxury.
Yeah.
Most people can't afford to, from what I understand, and also don't have the time.
Yeah, it's
I think the biggest resource for any Japanese person, especially working, is time.
Yeah,
How'd you have time to do anything?
If you ever go to a ryokan, right, if you stay there for 2 nights, I guarantee you're probably like 1 out of 100 people who stay there for more than that.
Oh yeah.
Everyone leaves the next day. Like, always. I've noticed that. Like, if I go and park my car, it's full. Next day, empty the car.
Yeah.
At like 2 o'clock, because no one's checking in until like 4. And I'm the only asshole who apparently stays. Even though it makes more sense to have a hotel room for at least 2 days, because you at least get 1 full day of the room.
Yeah, that never made sense to me because how can you enjoy the day? Because that means you spend most ryokan you can't
check in
until 3 or 4, and they won't let you check in early as well.
Yeah,
even if
I've
there's
tried,
space,
yeah.
even if there's space with Japanese hotels, and it's not just ryokans, it's hotels as well. Even if they have space in the hotel, you still can't check in until the check-in time.
I feel that the problem though is that like the main demographic that goes to ryokans for one night is usually like retirees.
Yeah,
right.
And
rich to them, the ryokan itself is the exploring.
Right, but you know what sucks? Like, is the fact that you don't even get like a full 24 hours when you buy 1 night.
Yeah,
right? That's why like in my head I'm like, this is so inefficient.
That is true.
This is why like you should never ever like even if you stay in like let's say you're staying in Kyoto, right? You should never change hotel every night because you're just wasting.
Wasting time.
Wasting time that you could have in the hotel room. Like, you get the breakfast as well or whatever. I don't know. You know, carrying your bags around is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Plus, like when I'm on holiday, when I'm staying in a hotel or ryokan, when I want to relax, I don't want to think about what time I need to wake up the morning after.
That's true.
Right? I want at least one day when I'm just like, if I want to lie in, I can lie in. You know, I want to crack some beers open with the boys. I want to, maybe lie until like 10 o'clock, whatever.
Yeah.
But in ryokans, you have to wake up at 8 because most people are only staying there for one night and, they have to wake up early to check out. The next day.
On Japan's side of things, like having to sleep in or getting to sleep in is like the privileged way of enjoing it. It's like, wow, you would stay here for more than one night? What the fuck? You privileged bitch.
There was I can't remember when I went to ryokan, but I went to one and
Time to go.
I remember I loved it, but then I was absolutely appalled that they made us check out at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
I was
Really?
like, is this privilege or I don't know if this is my privilege showing.
I've never
but
seen that before.
Like
I've seen
9
that.
a.m. 9 a.m. Bro, give me a chance to like brush my teeth.
I don't even wake up at 9 a.m.
Holy shit! I'm trying to relax out here.
You have to check out at 9 a.m. and I guarantee like earliest check-in is like 4.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what are you cleaning for so long? Well, surely this cannot take that long. The one thing that I love about like American hotels is that whenever I've always asked for late checkout, they've always given it to me. Like it's like an hour extra. Like they always chill about it. Sometimes they've charged me like $20-$30 extra. But Japanese hotel, I remember one time I stayed in the hotel room in Niigata, and the hotel room itself was $90 for an extra hour. Right, it was $70 just for 1 extra hour to stay in the room past 11. Right. And I was like, did I hear that correct? Can you say that again? Like, watch it up, please. Like, I was like, 70? The room was 90. How does that make any sense? Tell me, like, sit me down.
Because I think to them anything past that time limit is an extra thing.
No, it's to them they're offering late checkout without offering late checkout. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's like we got late checkout, but it's not really late checkout. But it is late checkout.
It's not late. It's not late at all. There's nothing late about it. The hotel was empty as well. It was like peak Corona. There was nobody staying here. Why were you trying to swindle me?
Well, yeah, dude, they're fighting for their life, man. They need that extra money, right? Because no one's staying there. They're like, oh, let's charge this guy
$70.
I'll give you. I know it's not culture. I'll tip you, man. Just leave me alone. Don't charge me $70 for this shit. What do I need to do? Who do I need to slip a $50?
It's weird though because like most like high-end ryokans especially, they're usually quite lenient with you know, late checkouts and stuff. Like we just myself and Aki and a few others just came back from this ryokan in Yamanashi.
Yeah.
And like they said the checkout was like 9:30.
Yeah.
But we were there till like 11, and they were like, "Yeah, you're good." It's like, okay, then why are you kicking us out at 9:30 if that's the case? Can't we just leave
did you
whenever?
ask them for late checkout, or were they just like?
No, they were like, no, they said the night before they were like, oh yeah, so it's 9:30 checkout. Is that okay? And we were like, we might be here for longer. Is that okay? And they were like, okay. I'm like, then why did you tell me that was the checkout time? Like, what the fuck?
Maybe just most Japanese people just don't ask.
Yeah, most Japanese people are like, those are the rules. We must follow set rules.
I noticed as well, they're like really anal about getting there. If it says 12, they are so paranoid about checking out after like 1 minute after 12.
Yeah.
And I'm
it's
like,
because I feel that's just like Japanese culture in general though. Like we're very strict on time. Like every time
because nobody has it here.
But hotels, it's like I don't want to be like fighting for my life 10 minutes before checkout. Like I'll come 20 minutes after. No one's gonna care. No one. No one.
Give your boy some time.
No one has ever cared, man. I'm trying to enjoy this bathtub you gave me. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
It's like how can you enjoy it when you're stressed about time? And I guess that's why I'm so like confused as to why people stay in ryokans for like one night. Because I feel like you need a minimum of 2 nights to enjoy the experience. 3 nights if you really just want a relaxing weekend or whatever. That's real privilege in Japan. Right?
Like I've never heard of anyone like a Japanese person staying at a ryokan for more than one night. Because to them it's like that one night is probably the equivalent to like a week to some people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh my god, finally,
Also,
like a night where I'm not working and just get to like do whatever the fuck I want.
Because another thing about ryokans is that there's like they really pressure you to go to breakfast, and I'm not really a breakfast guy, and I'm especially not a ryokan breakfast guy. You know, like I don't need a 3-course meal for breakfast, which is basically what those breakfasts are.
American breakfasts think they're big.
Oh no!
Until they go, dude, a ryokan kaiseki breakfast makes American breakfast look fucking plain.
Yeah, 5,000 bites. It's like they keep giving you tiny pieces, and they keep coming, and they won't stop. And you know it's over when they finally ask, like, do you want some tea or coffee? But by that point, you're already dead. They've already stuffed you.
I actually felt bad when everyone got mad at you about the breakfast tweet in your hotel because it was like one of the few times I'm like, hey, I'm just like, you don't need that much food for breakfast.
You really don't.
I just, you know, I'm a simple man. I don't really eat it. I tend to eat it if I've got something about to happen. Like, you know, the cycling stuff. Oh, yeah, I'll have some breakfast because that's just a wise choice. To exercise. But if I'm not exercising, I'm not eating breakfast. Give me a cereal bar at most, right? I'm not really big on it. I'd rather have a nicer lunch.
I'm not hungry when I wake up.
No,
I don't know how people can just wake up and go like, I feel like a buffet.
Because like if I have a big breakfast, which I rarely enjoy the big breakfast because I'm not hungry for breakfast. Like that means I'm just not going to eat lunch, or that means I'm just going to get hungry for dinner at this really weird time. Which is like a bit early for dinner, but like too late for lunch, right? It like fucks up my eating schedule.
The worst is being, you know, when you like. You're kind of hungry when you wake up because you maybe didn't eat too much the night before. And then like it really starts to get hungry at like 11. That's the worst time because you're like, oh, it's too early for lunch. But I'm holding out.
But I don't want breakfast.
I want breakfast. But I'm holding out here for my goddamn life. And oh my.
I think what it is that I hate the feeling of like having a food coma before 12 p.m. It's like because you're just tired in the morning, and I'm like, I don't want that.
Do you down a bunch of water when you eat?
Yes. I mean,
I'm normally full from that.
I drink.
What do you drink?
Like a lot.
I drink a lot of water.
You drink a lot of water just in general.
No, I do. I don't see why that's unhealthy. I'm
a
fucking hydro homie. That's what I am, Joey.
Welcome
to the club.
I'll probably drink like 500 milliliters.
I drink at least like minimum 2 liters.
And then I also just want to get stuck in with my day. Like if I need a shower, I want to do that. I go start working. I kind of want to get on with my day. I don't know. I don't really want to sit around.
Yeah, like having like a fry up that means it's like a special occasion. You know? It's like I can't have a fry up every day. I don't. even recommend you have a fry every day, but like even cereal,
9 out of 10 doctors hate this.
Even just cereal to me is just that's a big meal for breakfast.
Yeah.
To me, like a lot of people say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I don't know how accurate that is.
No, that's the fucking cereal companies lying. The cereal companies have tricked us, making us think that these fucking carb monstrosities are necessary. I do not need cornflakes when I wake up.
Motherfucker, the most I'll eat for breakfast is a single banana. Like I'll have
they're putting chemicals in the cornflakes to turn you gay.
Sounds like on the frog's gay.
That's why I eat Frosties. Only many Frosties.
Look, the most I have for breakfast is like a banana, and that's like that's me done for the morning.
I know the fruit companies aren't trying to convince me to. big fruit companies,
the
trying
farming
to convince
corporations.
Well, no, because it's like the whole fucking the whole chart bullshit came from the pyramid of what you should eat in your day, and you should eat this much bread and shit.
Yeah.
And it's just complete nonsense.
The
And
food
whole,
pyramid scheme.
Well, yeah, and like the whole idea of that you need to eat these cornflakes, which offers no nutritional value in the morning and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
and
wheat was at the bottom, right?
Yeah, it's like no, it's
like
fucking
no, it's
nonsense.
not.
And it was all pioneered by these companies, but way back that had an agenda to promote their stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're the Kellogg's team, you're gonna and you have your scientific research team. Of course, you're gonna be like, hey, Kellogg's scientific team, could you maybe, no, I'm not saying to skew the results, but like if there was some kind of correlation that said that Kellogg's was good for breakfast, that would really help us out here. That would.
I'm not saying you should convince the world that Fruit Loops is healthy or anything, but just maybe like hint at
just
it.
saying, like if you
because we really need to sell those Fruit Loops.
That contract for 5 years is not going to be necessary if no one's buying cornflakes. So I don't know what age I just was like, no more cereal for me. I won't do it. I don't really ever eat cereal anymore.
I wasn't brought up in a cereal household, so I never got the craving of it. And
then
then
a toast household.
Yeah, and like cereal to me, it always tasted like a sweet, like a dessert.
Well,
right?
depends what you go for.
Yeah, it depends what you had.
I will say, and I've just shat on cereal for like 5 minutes there, but I do like bran flakes. I really
bran flakes are good.
I love bran
flakes.
Yeah,
they're good.
But like, I remember one time as a kid when I discovered bran flakes, I thought these are so good that I just will keep eating them all day.
Yeah.
And so I had the whole box in one day. And
that was me and Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, and
yeah, but bran flakes is like
fiber
on crack.
Yeah,
it's like
oh lord, my toilet activity that day was like I imagine they were filming Lord of the Rings Mordor scenes out of my bathroom than that day. It was fucking horrible. I was in so much pain.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than an overly fibrous shit.
Oh my god, I was scared. I was genuinely scared. And I was like 12 years old, and I was like, why do they make them taste so good?
Yeah,
I fucking love bran flakes. Oh my god.
I used to have a fucking horrible diet when I was little. Cause
yeah, but everyone does. Your parents are like, yes, go on, eat those gummies that were made in the fucking Ninja Turtle sewer.
Yeah, because my parents had no retaliation on giving me and my sister like Cocoa Puffs and like Fruit Loops and like Nutri-Grain and all the fucking like sugary ass cereals.
I understand, now when you're a parent that it seems very difficult because you're already kind of struggling just to get by. The last thing you want to do is start like comparing Cocoa Puffs with, it shuts the kid up for 10 minutes. Give him the fucking Cocoa Puffs, right?
Yeah.
But then later on, you're like, all right, maybe I shouldn't have given that kids 4 slices of Nutella bread every day. maybe 50 grams of sugar for breakfast wasn't a good idea.
I feel like it was a blessing that I didn't discover Nutella until like I was an adult.
Same.
Yeah. So my god, if I discovered Nutella as a kid, which a lot of people did, my diet would have been destroyed.
Yeah, my diet was destroyed because it's like, oh, okay, you had Cocoa Puffs for breakfast, and then my mum would pack Nutella sandwiches for lunch, and I'm just like, how did I not gain 1 million fucking pounds from that?
Well, luckily when you're young, it's much easier.
Thank God for young and Asian genes.
Thank God for my Asian metabolism.
That's like the life hack right there, right?
Exactly.
I despise that my mum kept up with like what was healthy because it just meant that I never got to eat anything fun, and all the kids around me always had like, I remember there's one kid. Okay, unfortunately he was a bit overweight, but he always had chocolate spread sandwiches. Okay. And I just think that sounds so fucking cool.
Yeah.
This man had literal chocolate bread, man. I'm out here eating my fucking cheese sandwich like a peasant. And this man's eating like a king. He's getting chocolate spread with his chocolate yogurt, bro.
Oh my
This
god.
man's eating good. But then when
he wasn't eating good.
no, he was actually dying.
He was dying slowly. Yeah.
His parents unfortunately set him up to fail. It was a good. And when I tried it, I thought, oh, this doesn't taste good.
Does it not?
No, chocolate spread doesn't. And like chocolate mousse and all that, I didn't really like that.
Yeah.
And,
I think chocolate mousse tastes good. Maybe just because it wasn't normalized for me. I hardly had it. So every time I did have it, I'm just like, oh, I'm having chocolate for a meal. This is this is a life hack right here. This is exciting.
I love cheese strings. Cheese strings.
Cheese strings are fucking awesome.
But
cheese
it's just
strings
part
are good.
of the fun. Even now, I enjoy eating a cheese.
Yeah.
Just peeling it. Oh,
Yeah. That's the thing. Is like, I definitely enjoy this process more.
I don't know, but like trying to get it as thin as possible as well, and just like
trying to get like that perfect bit. It's just like, oh.
I don't know if they have this. Do they have cheese strings?
Oddly satisfying moment.
Do they have in Southeast Asia cheese strings?
They don't think they do.
It's just like this, like
it's in
like
all the
rubber cheese.
Yeah. It's in all the imports like
Right.
supermarket
It's like
stores,
not
right?
real cheese. I don't know how they do. I don't know how they.
It's
get
not real cheese, but
to
it
do
tastes
that.
better than real cheese in a sense. But then it doesn't. But
Yeah.
like
It's like cheese flavored plastic.
it's like playing a mini game to eat cheese, and for some reason that just adds to the flavor. I don't know why.
We've never had this.
I used to do this thing when I was little. I don't know if I'm the only one, but like I wouldn't like rip it and then immediately eat it.
Yeah.
I would kind of rip it and try and like create a perfect pile of like perfectly strung up cheeses.
That's like Hannibal Lecter. level.
And then I like put it in a row and I'm like, my finest work.
My name is Joseph Kira. I'm 12 years old. I live in Melbourne, Australia.
My hobby is
I live a peaceful life in the school cafeteria.
making perfectly cut up string cheese, displaying it. Oh yeah.
My God.
Never had a cheese
Never
string.
had it.
You're missing
Honestly,
out. You're missing out.
The flavor is shit, but
Yeah, I feel if you're an adult and you've never had string cheese as a kid, it's a kind of a tall hurdle to like get into.
There are some things that I try nowadays in Japan, and I'm like, I've never had a Japanese childhood, but I feel the childhood in this certain snack. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I get it. I get it.
Like some of the stuff we tried in the Konbini episodes, right?
Yeah.
With that fucking crisp thing that was just like one big what's-it or whatever.
Umaibo.
Oh yeah, Umaibo. And I'm just like, I can see myself eating this as a kid.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they also had like the fish cakes, which was vile. The like.
The what? The kamaboko?
Maybe like the fish and cheese or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Disgusting.
That was disgusting.
That was rancid.
Yeah.
I mean, I had both of those when I was a kid, so I was like, oh yeah, childhood.
Damn. Damn. Bro.
I even got just anything that was like of that size, I would just try and feel it.
Yeah, like I realized there are some things that if you didn't grow up with it, you probably wouldn't enjoy it. Like in
beans on
Thailand,
toast.
in Thailand, we have this snack called taro, which is
Like,
taro, which is basically just dried fish,
Quiet, Southeast Asians.
which is just like what is it? It's just like dried fish, right?
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, yes. It's like
Because when I think of taro, I think of the purple, like sweet potato.
I have nothing to associate it with.
yeah. So I remember like eating this as a kid and thinking this tastes amazing, and I brought some back to England and I gave some to my mates, and they had a bite, and they were like, "This is just fish food." And I'm like, "This isn't fish food." Yeah, it's that.
Oh, I've had that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fish strings.
Fish strings, basically. Fish, like cheese strings, but with fish.
Well, fish. They took the fish and they did this.
Basically.
Stop making strings out of everything.
I mean, I just hear that story and I'm just like, oh, Vegemite is over here being like first time.
I never got Marmite.
Every time I like, because I grew up with Vegemite as well, and every time I give that to someone who's not an Australian and they eat it and they're like, oh, this tastes like poison.
I bet it would taste good on toast.
It's brilliant
I've
on
had
toast.
It on its own, but not
It's lovely on toast. I mean,
that's just the Brit coming out. I'll just put it on toast. It will taste okay. Does it spread on toast? Yeah, we can make it work. We can make it work.
But put beans on toast.
I've had, you know what else is actually good at with is on rice. Vegemite on rice is actually not bad. Because if you think about it, it's the same thing as putting it on toast.
I don't know who you offended more, like the Australian in you or like the Japanese in you. But you somehow offended both your ancestors at the same time.
Yeah,
by saying
definitely.
That, Joey.
I definitely got disowned the moment I said that on camera.
The kangaroo
sure.
just died somewhere.
Yeah. A rice farmer just died somewhere.
Oh no!
Hearing that.
Oh no!
I tried it once because I actually saw it on Japanese YouTube though. Because they were like, okay, so my Australian friend brought back this Vegemite thing. I had it on toast, thought it was disgusting, but then I thought, I'm Japanese. Put that shit on rice. Anything's good on rice. Tried it, and apparently the guy said it was good, so I was like, all right, well, if the guy on the internet said it was good, it must be good.
Well, obviously, it must be true.
Obviously, it must be true. If a Japanese guy, it's lovely on toast. I mean,
that's just the Brit coming out. I'll just put it on toast. It'll taste okay. Does it spread on toast? Yeah, we can make it work. We can make it work.
But put beans on toast.
I've had, you know what else is actually good at with is on rice. Vegemite on rice is actually not bad. Because if you think about it, my Australian friend brought back this Vegemite thing. I had it on toast, thought it was disgusting, but then I thought, I'm Japanese. Put that shit on rice. Anything's good on rice. Tried it, and apparently the guy said it was good, so I was like, all right, well, if the guy on the internet said it was good, it must be good.
Well, obviously, it must be true.
Obviously, it must be true. If a Japanese guy said on the internet, it must be even true.
If of the week says it's good, I'll try it.
Exactly.
That's where I'll
exactly. So I tried it, and I was like, okay, you know what? Not as good as on toast, but possible.
Yeah. I sorry to go back to the gym. Bring it up again. I was in the gym, and I was watching an anime to go along with said gym experience.
Is this the only time you watch anime? Man, you've been talking about watching anime a lot recently.
No, twice.
That is a lot.
Well, you know,
that is a lot, Connor.
That's 2 more times than me.
I was in the gym, and I was like, I want to watch something. And then I saw the new season of Baki was out, and I was like, well, this is good gym material.
Of course.
And I watched it, and like, my God, if you haven't started watching Baki, like, you need to
Okay, I haven't seen this new season yet. Is it like...
This is probably the greatest season of television I've ever seen in my life. This shit was so goddamn funny.
Yeah.
Because part 3 Baki, which is the new season, is my favorite Baki part in the manga.
Honestly, I was like trying to work out, but I just couldn't stop laughing. Like, just some of the plot points. It honestly puts JoJo to shame at times with how stupid this show gets.
Part 3 is when it really starts to get fucking
If you don't know
ridiculous.
what Baki is, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just men with muscles fighting, and it's just so fucking stupid.
Basically, a kid who's like, I want to be the strongest creature on the planet. And then he does everything he can to be the strongest creature on the planet.
There's no way we can describe in words what Baki is kind of like. It's kind of like JoJo. You kind of just have to experience it.
The reason why I think it doesn't do as well as JoJo, I think it doesn't have like an aesthetic that is quite as appealing as JoJo. JoJo has so much style and stuff to go around with it.
Yeah.
But I think Baki is almost more fucking stupid.
Itagaki Keisuke is one of those like illustrators where I'm like, are you really good at drawing or are you really shit?
So
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. There are some scenes where I'm like, damn, that's an amazing shot. And then other scenes I'm like, I don't think this man has ever seen a human being in his life. Because that is not how anatomy works.
It's like you take a character and you're like, let's make this a muscly character. And you're like, what proportions do you think is reasonable for a muscly character? And then the author just went, all right, multiply that by 10, and then that's like the character designs.
Every single character, even the weak characters, are like built like brick shit houses.
Yeah,
right. It's insane. And like, I could tell you some plot points, and I will, and it won't even spoil it for you because it won't make any fucking sense, right? So at one point during the show, the main protagonist Baki starts shadowboxing, right?
That's my favorite fucking scene.
So is it the mantis?
So yeah, that as well. But so he starts. It's like a 10-year-old kid. And he's like, look, I'm going to show you that I'm going to fight an opponent. And so he starts fighting the air. And then he starts fighting Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
This one.
Just Mike Tyson appears out of thin air.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson isn't there, but Mike Tyson is landing blows and he
beats the shit out of him.
he physically gets hurt. And then he's fighting him back, and then the kid can see the spirit of Mike Tyson. And then this just happens. And then he's like, and then the main character's like, oh yeah, Mike Tyson's weak. And then he just summons a praying mantis that beats the shit out of him. But then he starts fighting the praying mantis that's imaginary.
Yeah. In a room, right? Like under.
And then like some military guy's like, hey, come fight. And then he's like, no. And then he just kidnaps George Bush. And it's like, what's going on? What is going on? What is going on?
You're talking about Biscuit Oliver, right?
Yeah. Then he kidnaps in this plot. He kidnaps George Bush.
Yeah.
So he can go to prison.
Yeah.
But like,
so then he can beat up all the prisoners.
Why would George Bush help you go to prison if you kidnap him? They would just what? It doesn't make any sense.
I love how Baki just like is so with the times. Like, you know exactly when Part 3 was released.
Also, it's like watching Baki, right? Is like if you only learned about America through Trash Taste. It's literally this shit they say about it. There's this one fucking I had to pause it because I just fucking laughed my ass off. And there's this one point where this American prison guard is about to die. and the two Japanese guys, one of them the Japanese guy saves the American, and the other Japanese goes, "Why would you save an American? He's never going to care about you. He's American." And I just paused it, and it was like, what? What does that mean? What is that? What? Is this just like casual? Like, what is this, trash taste podcast?
America's like, compassion? What is that?
What is that?
What is that? Never heard of that in my life.
Is it not an American get out?
Is that part of the Constitution? Compassion in my country?
Like, why would you save an American? They wouldn't care about you.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
It's like, holy shit.
What?
my favorite Baki is in the, I'll never fucking forget, and I can't wait for them to adapt this. I think it's part 4. And it's when Barack Obama comes out.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Because he gets, so in the manga, he's like newly elected, right?
Oh,
so it's like, you know, the era of when this was written. And like Hama Yujiro, like the main, like the dad guy, who's like the most powerful guy, he's like, he goes to talk to Obama because of course he can.
He can just sit down with any president he wants. Like the main antagonist could just sit down with anyone just because he's so built
Because
different.
he's so built.
It's just like insane.
But like Obama at first is like, I've heard of that man. I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all. But like, I need to see, is he the real deal? I need to see if he's the real deal. So then he comes into the room and he's like, show me you're the real deal. And and Yujiro goes, all right, bet. And he grabs like a handful of sand and he crushes it in his hand and turns it into a diamond.
I didn't even know what he's gonna do to know.
And then Obama's like, you are the real one. Shakes hands.
So there's like this show
Big muscle.
If you haven't watched Baki, you are honestly doing yourself a disservice. It is so fun.
I'm just
get past the start. It can be a little jank, but like the anime is really good.
It's
really
good.
funny.
Because like I'm surprised that meme culture just hasn't picked up on Baki memes, right? Because so much of this is fucking memeable. I know, right? Like
there's one other thing as well that is so fucking funny. So apparently, right, because there's these 3 characters, Baki, Yujiro Hanma and Oliver Biscuit, the other guy.
Yeah.
There's just 3 guys that are so dangerous and so powerful because they're muscles, right?
Yeah.
That half of the GPS in the world is in the air solely to track them. Solely to track them in this world, right? And so whenever they run above 2 kilometers an hour, the GPS in the world has to stop working just to track these 3 men.
Yeah.
So there's a whole section where they explain that when people are driving or using their phone, the GPS just doesn't work correctly because some of these characters decided to go for a light jog. You can't make this shit up. Who thought of this shit? Like,
I'm telling you, man. Like that's the thing. If you thought JoJo was ridiculous, JoJo's witches, it could be as ridiculous as Baki at times.
And you combine that with then also another part in another season where Yujiro Hanma, again the main antagonist, meets Muhammad Ali. And he's like, you can't beat me because you took off to do important human rights things. But I respect you because you did that. And it's like, what is going on?
Isn't one of the antagonists like Muhammad Ali's son?
Muhammad Ali. But like he respects Muhammad Ali. But even though he's weaker than him because he took time out his career to argue for civil rights. Great, we love that.
Good on him.
But then Muhammad Ali Jr. is just like cocky. And then he gets like
but then he kidnaps like the main like love interest of Baki and then gets beaten up by like 5 dudes for 5 days straight, just like over and over and over. There was also another scene I love where it's like Hanaya Makoto, who's like my favorite fucking character. He's like he's like bored. So he's just like, oh man, everyone's weak. Everyone's fucking weak. No one can stand up to me except one man, Hama Yujiro. You know what? I'm gonna go pay him a visit. So he goes and pays him a visit. He's just like walking down the street and he's like, so we're gonna start fighting? And he's like, right here? I'm like, yeah. Just in the middle of a crowd. But then a kid comes up and is like, oh my god, Yujiro, I'm a massive fan of you. And like hands him like a shikishi, right? It's like, can you sign this shikishi? And, you know, normally you'd think he pulls out a pen, does the sign. No, this is Hama Yujiro. He's built different.
Yeah.
What he does is he gets his finger, he stabs the shikishi and then slices it into 4 quarters with his finger until it's like all broken apart. And the kid's like, oh my god, thank you so much. And then Hanaya Makoto's like, man, I'd be happier with that than a signature for me. And I was like, what is this scene? And then they start beating the shit out of each other.
It's just like, it is insane. Like I'm sure if you don't know anything about Baki, that probably made no sense, and it doesn't make any.
It doesn't
sense.
make any sense.
Don't
Even in context, it doesn't make
like
sense.
I still don't quite understand what the story is, and I've watched 3 seasons.
Yeah.
I don't get the point.
Well, because you watched the
it.
Netflix seasons,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And the Netflix seasons aren't even the beginning of the story, because the Netflix seasons are like
starts at season 2.
Yeah, it's like a sequel to an anime or like the manga that came out like decades ago.
Yeah.
And then
It's been going longer than JoJo.
The CGI has gotten a lot better as well in this season.
That's
the
good.
CGI is kind of jank in the first season,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But still watch it. It is really
I
funny.
mean, I would say like the animation, especially compared to JoJo, isn't as good. But
God,
like you don't watch it for the animation. You watch it for like the batshit crazy scenes.
It's just like it's just insane how they decide fights, and it's like imagine if a world was decided purely by muscle, like the whole.
It's like muscles can solve every world issue in the
But,
world,
like,
right?
Guns in this world are meaningless compared to muscles. Like guns don't do anything. Guns are suggestion. Guns are for normal human beings, and they don't operate in the same world that the characters do. Like,
it's like every single character is an Avengers level threat. That's just what it is, right? And
at every single time you think you've met the strongest character, they introduce some new character that is even stronger.
Who's the main one in the part 3 again? Is it the prehistoric guy?
Is it the first human?
No. So I believe they've done what they did with the first season. Well, it's technically 1 season split into 2.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what they've done here. So the first arc is just through the prison. And then the next arc is the prehistoric one.
Yeah, the pickle, right?
But this arc opens up with a press conference from like a safari where like all these people died to this giant mammoth elephant, which killed hundreds of people and animals. And in this press conference, he's like, 1 man killed this 500-meter tall mammoth.
That's what
and then the press conference is like, no, it didn't. And then it's like, what is this? What is this? What? It's so dumb.
That's what I love about Baki, is that every character has such this batshit crazy backstory.
Yeah.
That the way they get introduced with this like fucking crazy backstory, and you have like Speedwagon, like basically a narrator just going over their entire backstory, doing all these like batshit crazy things, and you think it can't get crazier until it fucking does every time.
I've like almost caught up to the manga, and I'm like, how did they top the first human who ever lived, who beat a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex with his bare hands?
So I even though I know sort of what the next arcs are about, like there's an arc about them fighting prehistoric creatures, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
They just bring him back to life, and they're like, let's see if they stand up to the humans of today.
Right? like Jurassic Park, instead if they turned it into Test the Humans, instead of like seeing what the dinosaurs could do. It's like, let's see what the humans can do against the dinosaurs, because humans are too boring in this world.
Yeah,
now.
apparently.
Because it's just like no normal martial arts master is good enough anymore now.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny because like the main protagonist, which is the main character's dad, is just like batshit insane and also just hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just, he's so insane.
Some of the shit he says
amazing.
is actually insane.
And there's just the fact there's a whole scene dedicated to him watching his son having sex. And
that was what sold me on the first
honestly,
season.
if I can't sell you on Baki, it's that there is a scene where he is about to lose his virginity and his dad comes in giving him advice.
Yeah.
In like the creepiest way on earth and the most like manly way.
Yeah,
please watch this show. It is insane. The fact that people haven't watched this is just mind-blowing.
He literally squats down next to the bed and says, "Eat her."
Yeah. He's like, fuck every day.
Fuck every day.
Answer your instincts. Let your instincts take over. Become an animal. Fuck when you want.
And then to top it off, Baki turns fucking Super Saiyan levels of like powerful after he loses his virginity.
No. They have like a fucking, because like they actually have sex in this anime, and they turn the sex scene into a JoJo fight. I swear to God.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, sex is like a battle.
I'm gonna be honest though, it is in real life. You're like trying to think of like 10 things at once. Make sure you do it right. It's the most accurate sex scene in anime. Changed my mind. No, on top of that, right? Not only is this the hypest sex scene in anime, immediately after that, you don't need this no bullshit Goku Super Saiyan, I'm gonna save the world. This man powered up more than Goku ever wishes he could by losing his virginity. These people can sense that this man lost his virginity. He was fighting.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because one of the prisoners prison guy's like tries to come up to him, right?
Not 1, 2.
Yeah.
Before this, our main character was so weak that he couldn't face one of these dudes one-on-one.
Yeah.
After sex, 2 of them come in and they cannot face him. Like this man's aura, this man's nen has increased so much from busting a nut that like they can't even think of facing him.
He somehow developed like hockey power. After
It's like Gon pre-Nen versus post-Nen.
It's like if Gon turned into his dad after nutting. It's insane. Like this whole episode was like you had to pause it and just be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
So funny.
It's please watch Baki. It is insane.
It's amazing.
I cannot. And this new season was so goddamn fun. I was gonna only watch like 2 episodes. I binged it all in one day. It was so fun. It's insane. Like
I have to watch it.
If you go into it with the mindset of this is going to be a kind of stupid JoJo-esque show, I guarantee you will love it.
Yeah.
If you can watch it with the boys, this shit is fucking hilarious.
We need a Baki out of context kind of compilation. Just
yeah,
like
right?
get this going. Just how
the
do
fact
we
that
not?
there's 0 memes of Baki.
Yeah.
It's like
there are like
ridiculous.
so many out of context JoJo memes and compilations, but there's nothing for Baki.
No.
Like how?
I don't. It deserves its
True
place.
crime.
Like it's just I can think of so many
There's
clips.
so many scenes.
So many clips of this goddamn show that could deserve to be memed. Oh my god.
No,
oh
but-
my lord.
No, but like going back to
fight for my life for Baki. Oh my god.
Yeah, going back to the gym though, it's just like, how do you watch this shit when you're doing the gym? Because like the last thing I tried watching anime while going to the gym because I'm just like, yeah,
dubbed.
But like, do you not get too absorbed into whatever you're watching? Because I can't concentrate on like working out if I'm like absorbed into a show. Right?
Cardio, I want to get absorbed in anything but running.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to take my mind off because the moment I want to be staring at my screen and not at that calorie counter or the distance.
Treadmill or bike is like perfect, I feel.
Bike
for-
is amazing because you can just, if you have something that's like an hour 30, just go and watch. Like if you want to watch something, like I will do my best to just be like, I'm going to watch this just on the bike.
Yeah.
Because to me the viewing experience is near identical. Yeah, it's not as good and you're not as comfortable. I'm not going to sit and pretend it's the same thing, but you know, if it's something that you don't care about too much, you know, it's not that one film you've been waiting for. Just do it on the bike or the treadmill.
Yeah, because like every time I've watched something while trying to work out, because I remember when I still went to the gym.
Well, I was always watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, you're watching YouTube videos and stuff. I feel like YouTube is fine, but like with anime, I tried watching like the new season of My Hero Academia.
I used to watch that.
Yeah. And I realized I would watch an episode and then I would not retain anything that happened within that episode. And then I would watch the next episode and I would like, I'd be so confused as to what was going on.
Dubbed or subbed?
I watch it dubbed.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I can normally follow along. And I mean, because you know, when you're doing you're working out, right? You're working out you're doing the sets for like what? A minute and a half, 2 minutes?
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's going to come and be like, you're doing it all wrong. What the fuck, Connor? But like, you know, you get on and off time. So I normally I have it down below, like on the floor. So I do my reps and then I just kind of watch like 1 minute. And I'm like, okay, next rep. And then so that kind of get a balance.
I can't do that. Like if I'm doing reps, like I need to be like fully concentrated.
Yeah,
on
I need
but,
like
to be
music.
fair, it is
music.
really hard to fucking focus when they're telling me about this GPS bullshit and I'm just like laughing too much to do this rep.
Baki would be fucking impossible to watch at the gym.
But it's
man.
also hype as fuck because like they're all the most muscular men on earth talking about like the insane amount of strength and muscles they have.
It's like that's my goal right
So
now.
so you're kind of like doing a squat while someone is talking about how they gain their muscles in Baki is like the most like pump thing on earth, dude. Like you can't not go for the extra rep. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
true,
it's
that's
insane. I don't know, but it is kind of difficult. You kind of have to pick and choose. Now in my head, I have like media for the gym. I'm like, this is gym watcher.
media.
This is stuff that I can watch in the gym because I don't care too much about it, but I want to watch it.
Right.
And if I care a lot, I'll stop watching it after one episode and save it.
Yeah,
I know I like it.
Yeah.
And I'll save it for when I want to watch it. If not,
The secret to getting Connor to watch anime: going to the gym.
basically, get me to do something where I don't
Make
need
him
to
lift
focus.
heavy things.
Make me not watch it. But obviously, right now I've not been watching anything at all because I've been just watching League of Legends. But
same here.
But it's
That's
kind of hard.
why I'm very tired today.
Yeah, I had 4 hours of sleep because I've been watching League of Legends. It's been really good this year.
Sounds like your guys' problem.
Yeah, I would talk about it, but
I gotta
I know Joey's not interested.
Yeah.
Basically, it's
I
been
can go to the
amazing.
toilet quickly while you guys talk.
Basically, it's been one of the most hypest years in group stages.
I feel like I hear that every fucking time.
It's
Every
just
year,
amazing.
it's like this is one of the hypest.
Well, so,
how can they top
League
Yeah.
of Legends is probably the only esport I try to keep up with,
Right.
at least for the worlds. It is really entertaining, and
I'm sure it is. I'm sure if I like understood the rules, I think I'd really get into it as well. Because like I like watching esports stuff. But
what I actually enjoy about Worlds, specifically Worlds, is that I get the same feeling from Worlds as I get watching like say the World Cup or something, right? Where like even in the smaller stages, you have like really small regions, and you have like regions that are like across the world, and even though you have like certain countries and certain regions that are stronger than others, like it still feels like a global event where you see fans from all over the world, especially when we had a crowd, just like cheering for even like teams that are not so well known, that are like up and coming regions. And I really I love that in sporting events when it's not just like one kind of country, but it's like a global kind of event.
Well, but that's what I mean, right? It's like I feel like League for me would be like any other sport that I just don't know the rules of. Like if I feel like once you teach me the rules of like what's going on, like how what's a good play, what's not.
Problem is you need to learn how to play League.
Right, but I don't want to do that.
No, 100% you don't want to know.
Yeah, so it's like it's like again like learning any sport, right? It's like once you know the rules, I think you can have a really fun time of just watching it. Because watching it and playing it is totally different.
Yeah, because that's the reason I got into League as an esport as opposed to like maybe like I remember trying to get into the Overwatch esports scene.
Oh, fuck me.
And oh my god, like the game aside, which I don't think is as good of a spectator sport as say League or something.
Yeah.
Like I remember I went to an event with our mates, and I found out that they had teams from like different cities from across the world, right?
This really upset me.
Yeah. And they were like, oh my god, they have a team from London. I can't remember what the exact name
London
was.
Spitfire.
London Spitfire. They had a team from London Spitfire. I was like, great, we've got some representation for the UK and London. And I remember the team walks out, and everyone is Korean. And I'm just like, what? Why would you lie to me like this? Why would you lie to me like this?
I was really confused. I didn't understand it, but it's like a franchise model. So it's kind of like like football teams where you sell the slot to whoever does it. But they had.
So I guess there was no Londoner who was good enough.
That was not a single Londoner.
To my knowledge, the way that Overwatch had done it is that they had these team names decided, and that you could buy in, and you were given. I don't know if you could choose it, but it kind of ruined it because as much as League of Legends has so many. You're allowed to bring in foreign imports.
But there's like a maximum cap to how many people you can import from other countries.
Because if you're rooting for Europe, you would like to see European people on the team.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
the Japanese rugby team at one point where there were less Japanese players than there were actual foreign import
exactly.
players.
And this year in League, like there was a Japanese team that qualified for the main event, and that's the first time it ever happened in history because no one in Japan gives a shit about League of Legends. So this like really small fucking team qualified for the main event, and I'm just like, fuck it, this is the anime plotline right here. What the fuck? Why am I watching anime?
I think it's got a strong niche here, but it just struggles because there's not a big PC culture here.
No,
unfortunately, and I don't really see a PC culture taking off anytime soon.
It is growing, but I don't think it's like dedicated to games like League.
I think it's just mobile gaming is just too massive here.
It is,
for like people because as we said, people don't have time.
But like stuff like Apex is blowing up, so I think that's been a real big push for PC.
I think
shit.
Apex
that's
is
like VTubers. So that's like so that VTubers
as well. Like I think Apex is doing very well, and VTubers only just, especially at least in Japan, very much pushed it.
I think before that, like the biggest PC game we had here was like PUBG.
Fuck.
Oh yeah.
But like that was like the biggest.
Put it in the dirt.
And I think that was like the biggest it had ever gotten in Japan in terms of like a PC game.
Well, PC like bangs are popping up a bit in Japan. They are
like, PC cafe, gaming cafes.
More chill. Because we had them in London, but there was one, and it was so goddamn expensive. Do you remember? It was like $15 an hour.
What?
Yeah, and it's like. It's. I understand that you're a business. You got to make money, and London real estate isn't cheap. But also, it has to come on. There's got to be a reasonable amount. I've got a PC at home. I mean, come on, like $5 an hour. I'll buy food. I promise I'll buy food. I don't.
It seems like a bit of a rip.
It's a bit too much because if I want to have a full gaming session with the boys in a cafe, I'll spend like $100.
Yeah, right.
And bro, I can buy
What if I want to play like
the entire Steam library for that?
Yeah, what if I want to play like a game of like Civ 2, which is like 12 hours on average?
Rip then.
Yeah, it's like $300 for a game of Civ. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think in countries like Korea, it's a lot more affordable because they rely more on like you buying food and drinks and stuff, which I would prefer. I'll buy food and drink if
exactly.
you know, can help you out.
Because I feel like in the UK, it's like it's a strange concept, you know.
It is, yeah.
In Korea, it's just a normal way to socialize.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I noticed that in Korea, it was not in Korea, in the UK, it was either Chinese students who were there all day, or it was kind of like British people who would be like, "Ooh, play PC for an hour."
What's all this then? Gaming outside the house.
What's all this? The Switch? Is it like the Switch? They got Mario Kart. So it's kind of it wasn't meant to unless you were a rich foreign student. I don't think you're supposed to be there all day.
Sure, exactly.
So it's a shame, really, because I would love to game in a PC.
That's why we want to go to Korea, right?
Yeah, me and Grant really want to go to Korea. We've been saying this before on Trash
Yeah.
Taste, but we've always just wanted to spend like 12 hours a day gaming, and that's my ideal vacation.
That sounds great.
Sounds like an amazing vacation to me.
Turn off my phone, just game.
Yeah,
look at me.
Just game.
Just game. Just game.
Just get some toxic gaming in there.
Yeah.
Because I realized how like small, like how unpopular PC gaming was in Japan when I actually joined the Japanese League of Legends servers, and I was just like, great, join the Japanese League of Legends servers, perfect way to practice my Japanese and game at the same time.
Yeah.
A little did I realize until like about 50 games in, no one on the Japanese League of Legends servers speaks Japanese.
No, it's all Chinese.
Everyone speaks Chinese or English, right? Because no one Japanese is playing on the Japanese servers. It's just like Chinese people smurfing on the
where Chinese people just go to like have fun.
Yeah.
On Japanese.
And what I realized is that it's the most toxic server in the world that I've been to.
It's pretty
and that's
bad.
because no one Japanese is playing on there. It's all Smurfs from other countries, just like being toxic on the server.
Yikes.
So yeah, I can see why Japanese, especially with League at least, why it wasn't so popular in Japan. Apex is a different deal, but basically the secret to getting a game popular in Japan, I guess, is just to appeal to VTubers, right?
Just put some gacha in it, man.
Just put some gacha in it.
Put some gacha in League and you're all good. You got the Japanese market.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
It's a good social game as well. It's very easy to hop in and just play a few games if you ever guys want to.
Yeah, one day I saw you playing Minecraft the other day.
Now, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed you started without me.
What do you mean? I was invited. You guys didn't ask me. Come on, set up the server, boys.
I saw you dying in the lava 5 times.
Listen, we don't talk about it.
Yeah,
Sorry, we'll play Minecraft.
Yeah, I got to get myself situated first because I've recently just moved as well. It was my new place is good. It was an interesting moving experience, mostly because of all the shit that Sydney has built up over the years.
God.
And I remember. Okay, so we hired the same moving company, right? So there's this main guy, and he knows that we're YouTubers because he moved
all the trash taste
stuff, right? I don't think he was prepared. Like, he knew that we were anime fans, right? But I don't think he was prepared for some of the stuff that Sydney had just within her closet, right? And so I remember,
poor man.
Yeah, before they do the move, they also have to scout the place just to see what they have to move and how many trucks they have to rent out. And Sydney was just like, you know what? I know the stuff. I know my room's a bit of a nuclear wasteland right now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna clean it up a bit, right? So what she does is she takes off all the lewd posters off a wall, right? She's like, I'm cleaning up my room. You know, she's not gonna notice
Cleaning
up my room. So she takes off all the lewd posters, thinking she's got her job done. I've got nothing to worry about. What she forgets, right, is there's no posters on the wall, but there's just a massive pile of sex toys in the corner that she just somehow forgot about.
You really know how numb she is to that kind of shit now, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
It's the pussy of the round table.
It's the pussy of the round table.
Fine art right there.
And it's the 10-kilogram boobs that are just lying on the floor.
Nothing
so
wrong
she
with it.
forgets to hide that, but she takes off the slightly lewd posters off the wall. And so
this is distasteful, Grant. No.
So the guy opens the door and is greeted by just the 10-kilogram boobs that is just sitting on her desk. That she somehow just forgot about.
Absolute state. He probably wanted to get out of there. Yeah.
And so after we get everything packed up, obviously they hired different people, so he's seen all this before, but obviously his employees haven't seen this, right?
Oh no!
And so they have to pack everything up, right? And so how it was, they packed everything up. There were about like 4 men just loading stuff into the 2 trucks that we had. Sydney stayed behind. Sydney stayed behind to clean up the place after we were all driving to our new place to unpack everything. And I sat with them in one of the vans. And I sat with them, with 2 of them, and 2 of them weren't the main guys, so it was just one of their employees. It was just like, it was like a good 15-20 minutes of silence, right? And we were just driving along, and the guy next to me just goes, "So interesting stuff you got there, eh?" And I'm just like, oh my god, so it's like I'm starting to fucking explain this shit, right? So it's like, this is just, we're YouTubers, and the room, that room, that room, that's not my room.
How do you explain that shit though to someone? That's like trying to explain what B-board is on 4chan, right? It's like, so there's a lot of fucked up shit here, but don't worry about it. It's completely fine. Like, you get used to it.
I remember when I showed them all the fucking cosplays I had, they were like, "What the fuck? Why do you have so many costumes? Why is there so many dresses?" I'm like, I don't know.
That's my job.
It's a hobby of mine. What can I say? I just like this stuff.
What's worse to say? If it's your job or if it's your hobby?
What
gets you judged?
The guy walked in my room and was like, "So you're single, huh?"
I'm glad Sydney was there, because if it was just me sorting this out, I can't. How do I explain that? How the fuck do I explain that? So I live with a fiance, and she collects sex toys and reviews them on her YouTube channel, and they're just like, yeah, sure,
reviews
sure,
them.
Like, sure, bet.
And then it's not even the worst part, because after I have this like half an hour explanation, explaining to them what we did, and just explaining the situation so they understand. So we get to the house, and so they start unloading the stuff. First goes the bed, and then all like the other boxes, and then the big stuff. And then I had scheduled the gas guy to come on the same day, because we've got to turn on the gas, maximize, min-maxing moving. So I get a phone call from the gas guy as everyone's coming in, packing, unloading all the stuff into the house. I'm like, I'm about to come over. Is that cool? And I'm like, great, perfect. I'm here right now. Just come right in. So he comes in, checks the gas thing, turns it on, does the check. Everything's perfect. And as he's about to walk down the stairs, guess what pops up? It's the 10-kilogram boobs right in front of him that the guy just like fucking presents to him on a silver platter. And the guy,
wait, wasn't it inside?
Oh my god!
Wasn't it inside of like a box or anything like that?
Yeah, it was inside a box, the packaging, which is just an anime girl with her breasts out, right? Because this thing doesn't need to go in a box. It is its own box. It's just boobs. That is 10 kilograms. The box is big enough by itself. So he stops. They both stop. The gas guy looks at him, looks down at the box, looks at me, and he goes, "Oh, very important." I'm just like, oh,
did he really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So he's like, yes, it is. Thank you.
He's got a sense of humor.
The guy said, what if the guy was like, "Oh, I got one of those."
Oh shit, you got the new model.
Oh shit, that's the new model right there, Pog.
So yeah, I just phoned Sydney up afterwards, and I'm just like, why did you give me this job? I should be the one cleaning up. You should be the one handling this shit.
Were the tits really necessary to keep? Is
like,
that saying that it needs to
also,
be
did
kept?
it need to go in the box that had all the loot shit in front of it? Like, you couldn't have just put it in like the moving box? Or
we let the movers pack a lot of it.
Because what I did with all my loot shit is that I packed it in a box separately before the moving people came, so they had no idea of all the cursed shit I have in my house.
I try to pack as much stuff as I could, but there's too much stuff. Because when they pack stuff, I just lost track of everything. I was like, I don't know which box everything's in.
Yeah, I tried to help them and like try to keep track of everything, and then like about 2 hours in, you realize I don't know where anything is anymore.
And so like even like a month after, I was like, which box is that one specific thing I need in? I tear open all the boxes, can't find it. And I'm like, well, I'm fucked.
Yeah, like I still haven't found my wireless headphones, which is somewhere in one of the boxes. Like you forget about the little items that you kind of need in day-to-day life until you're staring at about 20 boxes in front of you and you realize that, oh, this one thing is in one of these boxes, I guess.
Yeah, how does that happen? Every time, I swear, like, it doesn't matter who I ask, how far they're moving, how much stuff they have. Every move, items just like go into like some Donnie Darko shit happens where it just like disappears into a void on the way. It's like, because like you look at it, because I had that as well where I was like, okay, I'm missing like 2 or 3 items at least. I went back to the old house, obviously not there. Ring up the moving company, they say they don't have it. I'm like, well then where the fuck did it go? You're not going to tell me it's in one of these boxes, because you open it all up and still not there. And I'm like, well, what did I do with it? Where did it go?
Man, I miss moving as a student. You just had like 2 suitcases.
Yeah, exactly,
That's
right?
it. Like you just chuck everything away you don't need.
Because the thing is, when you're moving, when you have like an apartment and stuff, you just forget how much shit just is hidden. So you pack
furniture is such a nightmare.
Yeah, you pack the big shit and you're like, oh, I'm like 80% done. And then somehow you add another 3 hours of packing on top of that because there's so much shit that's just accumulated randomly.
I was surprised at how much shit was in my kitchen. I thought my kitchen was like 2 boxes, 3 boxes.
Yeah.
It was like 15 boxes of just kitchen shit. I'm like, how is this? What? Why do I own so many spoons and plates? What is this? I didn't know I owned that much shit. And I'm like, why do I have like 4 different types of plates? I only use one.
It's because you like go deep into like cupboards that you open like once every like couple of months, and it's like, oh, okay, I didn't realize I had 17 bottles of fucking dishwashing liquid just like sitting back there.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, man, getting rid of all the cardboard after moving was
don't talk to me about that.
Bro,
don't talk to me about
19,000. I probably had a Japanese forest worth of cardboard in my apartment at one point.
Luckily, the service we ordered, they took all the cardboard with them because they unpacked it all for us.
Did they unpack it?
But doesn't that service cost like 10 grand?
Yeah, but we got sponsored.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, nice for some. I just have
I just can't, in good faith, pay 10 grand for them to move my stuff.
Oh no! If I didn't get sponsored by it, I wouldn't have paid for it.
Like the one that they charged me like 2 grand. Yeah, which I was like, okay, that makes sense. I guess it's a full day of work. It's a full tank of gas. It's a truck.
You're like talking yourself out of it.
It's 2 days of work. You're throwing away stuff too. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess okay,
it makes sense somewhere. Somewhere.
You know, they gotta make a profit, man. It's got, you know. But
struggling out here.
Because I saw your moving company. Someone was moving into my building, and it was like the whole place had been like taken over by them. There was like 15 of them. And
like the elevator and like the outside is like all has their logo on it.
I was like, no wonder they cost like 10 grand. They've got the whole goddamn Japanese workforce here doing this stuff.
They really are like, I don't know why. I guess they're really prideful of their company or something, but like they love plastering their logo all over the fucking place.
I mean, it works.
It seemed like a fucking it seemed like a military operation. It's like that scene from the anime where they call the SDF. They're like, oh shit, you know, get the SDF down here, man. This is a real job now.
Rock up in suits. It's like, oh shit, here they go.
To be fair, I understand, man. If you got a family, you got kids and shit, and you're doing pretty well for yourself, I get it. I fuck trying to move with my kids. I would not want to be in my situation that I was in. Plus kids. I understand that it's like, just bring in the fucking SAS, bring in the Marines. Bring in John Cena to do it. Like I do not want to do it.
Or especially if you were, in your 60s, 70s, 80s.
Oh god,
right? It's like just fucking do it for
because I guess as you get older, you won't be moving nearly as often. I still don't know if I'm going to move in 2 years, 4 years, but once I'm like 40, I'm probably going to be staying there for a good amount of time.
Yeah, exactly.
40. Wow.
I don't know, 40.
That is a late time to settle down.
Yeah. Bro, I ain't settling down anytime soon. Are you kidding me?
I get you.
Unless I become a billionaire hedge fund man, then I'll just buy 15 properties and live in whichever
wherever
penthouse suite I want to. Maybe
fly off with your private jet.
One day these stocks are going to turn green, and I tell you, man,
can't settle down if you're settled in 5 different countries at the same time.
Big brain.
Because I'm still going through that phase where I'm like, I'm in my 30s now. I should probably think about where I want to settle down. That just terrifies me.
I feel like settling down is when when you're when you're working in a place that you feel like is going to be your end home. I don't think I'm going to live in Japan forever.
No.
I can't speak the goddamn language. and even if I did, I'm like, would I want to raise a kid here? Probably not.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, there's like a lot of different factors that go into like my long-term settlement, like where I would want to settle down. Like I do like Asian culture, and you know, I do like living in Japan, but a big thing about Asia is that I don't want my kids to go to school here because, my God, they put so much pressure on exams and schooling here that I'm just like, this is too much. This is too much.
I remember I saw a post that was on Facebook like, you know, Japan per capita has like the least exams of any country, and it was like before high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, just let them be happy until age 12, and then just fuck them to death.
They're really happy, and it's like give them heaven for about 12 years, and then give them hell for the next 3.
That makes so much sense because Japanese kids are like so fucking cute. Like whenever you see school kids, they're so nice, say hello. You know, they're just so inquisitive and everything. And then like suddenly it's like
it's before they learn racism.
And then it's just like a flip. And I swear, like every Japanese teenager goes through the same moody teenager phase.
Oh yeah,
like it's like there is no exception.
I'm telling you, kids get cocky when they learn racism. I'm just saying it as it is, right? It's like, it's because I can tell, like, because you know, sometimes with Japanese kids, right, just from looking at them, you don't know how old some of these kids are. Like there are some like 10-year-olds that look 30, and there are some 30-year-olds that look 10. You know. So but like you can always tell though when it's like a middle school Japanese kid and a high school Japanese kid, not from their looks but from their attitude.
How happy they are.
Yeah, how happy they are. And just from their attitude.
they're like in high school.
And just from their attitude towards how I guess they like talk to foreigners, I guess, in a sense. Like, I don't,
high school students are very scared of talking.
They are.
But middle school and like elementary school Japanese kids love talking to foreigners.
They do.
Not that I approach children in the street. Don't worry.
I'm not going around going like hello to every child, but you know.
In my old apartment block, the only people who would ever like converse with me are like the little kids.
Yeah.
Whenever I get stuck in a lift, and I'm like, oh, what do you want to go to? Where'd you come from? What are you doing? I'm just like, oh, what is going on?
They
here?
love talking to, and then I don't know what happens. Something in high school happens where they just suddenly become paranoid of foreigners.
I think they ruin their life.
Yeah,
with exams.
I guess. Yeah,
and then with the expectations.
But you also know. But you also know which high school student dropped out. Because they're very happy. They're like, oh yeah, hello, how are you? Yes, I'm not in school anymore. Doing really good for myself, thank you very much. Don't have to go through 17 exams a year.
I just wouldn't want my kid going through the system. I guess.
Yeah. Same here.
Also, if Japanese banks are like this, God knows what the rules are like with Japanese schools. Oh my lord!
I think it depends.
Like
on
being
the
a parent, having to deal with it, it's like. Oh.
I think though it depends heavily on the school that you go to. Like obviously, like I think public schools definitely have it the worst. I think that's the same with any country out there. But you know, if you take your kid to like a private school or even an international school, like I think it gets a little bit better.
Yeah, probably. Oh, I don't plan on having kids anytime soon.
No, me neither.
That's a problem for like future me to figure out.
Yeah.
That's a Trash Taste episode 5,000, I think.
Yeah. Definitely.
Episode 5,000. Jerry's kid shit himself in school.
Am I right? Can you relate?
So I went fishing this weekend. I know we were talking about a Trash Taste fishing special. I'm sorry, guys.
Can't believe you do that to me.
Where the fuck was my invite?
Where the fuck was my invite?
Ask Mei Lin. Mei Lin was the one who invited me.
Mei Lin, what the fuck?
I blame Mei Lin.
I trusted you, Mei Lin.
Yeah, Mei Lin just invited us, me and Cindy, if we wanted to have like a kind of like a double date where we go fishing together, and I really fucking enjoyed it.
You looked like you were enjoying it.
You look like you were about to shit yourself on the boat.
Oh yeah. So like, okay, so
you're like.
So this is the first time where I went sea fishing. So it wasn't fishing in a river or a lake, which I've done before.
Done on a boat before.
So it is an entirely different experience, right? Mostly because I've never been seasick in my life, right? And we were talking about this. So on the journey up there, everyone's like, oh, does anyone here get seasick? Which is, if you get seasick and you're about to go fishing on the sea, probably a bad idea.
Bad time.
Yeah. But none of us had ever been seasick before. So we're like, great. Fishing on the sea, easy. What we didn't realize is what I didn't realize is that when you're actively doing things and having to concentrate things on top of being on the sea and being on the edge of a boat, it like amps up your seasickness to 10. So this is the first time I'd ever felt queasy on a boat, right? But I mean, the entire thing was like, aside from having to deal with the seasickness, it was pretty damn fun. So what happened is we went down to Yokohama and we went to the port there. And so they have this package where you basically go out to sea for about 4 hours. I think it was like, about 4 hours.
Decent amount of time?
Yeah, decent amount of time. And basically, whatever you catch, you can keep, and you can do whatever you want with the fish. So back when I went fishing in Wisconsin, whatever we caught, we could only keep a certain amount. But here, you can like keep whatever you want, and you can cook them afterwards as well. And so we went out to sea. And I remember at the beginning, so it was me, Sydney, Maylin, and Maki, right? And so obviously it was our first time. So the fisherman was trying to teach us how it was done, right? And within the first hour, Maylin catches 2 immediately, right? And she's just on fire right now. She's like, I'm a fucking natural. I'm a fucking natural.
I can imagine how smug.
She was so fucking smug. Didn't catch anything for the rest of the trip.
Instant karma compilation.
You'd love to see it. You'd love to see it.
And like on the opposite side of things, which was Sydney, and while Maylin was like catching her first 2 within an hour, Sydney was like struggling to get like the reel down, right? The fisherman was like next to her for like a full-on hour, like explaining to her, then explaining to her again, and like he was like eagle-eyed on her, just trying to make sure that she was doing everything correctly, because she was not getting any catches. And then somehow, like after an hour in, she just starts fucking reeling in fish like it's no business. She starts catching like 4 or 5 fish at the end of it.
Learns the controls.
Can
finally play the game.
and then there's Maki, which poor guy who's Maylin's husband. Maki, poor guy caught.
Uống đốc tờ thanh, thanh lọc cơ thể, tươi mát mỗi ngày. Cây nóng quá.
I think he caught like 1 fish at the end, and so did I. Actually, I caught like 3 or 4, but most of them were 2.
Well, that's very different to 1.
No. I caught 1 fish that I could keep, and the rest were just like too small to even be worth my time. Right?
Kills babies
because
stabs them, throws back
because Maki unfortunately was like way too seasick to be able to function for most of the trip. Which is the thing where Maylin also was seasick, and so was I, to be fair. But Maylin, being Maylin, didn't want to admit it, because she was like really silent after about an hour, and she was just sitting down. And I was like, Maylin, you alright? And she was like, yep, I'm cool. I'm just a little bit tired. She told me afterwards that she just didn't want to admit she was seasick in case like me or Cindy would be like, oh little baby,
you get medicine for seasickness.
Yeah, you
right?
can. Which we totally would have done
pride,
anyway.
Man. It's the pride.
But as soon as Maki mentioned that he was feeling seasick, she turns to me and Sydney and was like, "Maki's seasick. She's seasick. I'm taking care of Maki. He's seasick."
Wow.
I'm like, wow, Maylin.
What an asshole.
bro.
That's a bro moment.
And I was just like, I'm seasick as well. You know, obviously I'm not, you know, it's normal to get seasick.
Maki's just doing like the blinking, like...
Yo, what?
Hey, yo, what?
But it was so funny because Maki did Maki's first catch, right? He reeled in 2 little like super small fish. So they were like baby fish, right? They were like this big. You know, you can't really do anything with them. So it's like at this point you just catch and release it, right?
Yeah.
And it was the first like baby fish we caught on the day, and this was about 2 hours in, and so he caught them, and I was like, "Oh, look at the little baby fish! You know, we should probably release them." So he takes the hook out, and he puts them back in the ocean, and they start swimming off. And I swear to God, this thing is like a scene from The Simpsons, right? You can see them swimming off. And Sydney, in her little, you know when Sydney is just like talks about a dog or talks about any animal, she's like, "Go swim, little baby, swim." And then as soon as she finishes saying that, out of nowhere, a seagull appears and just dive bombs the fish out of the water and eats it. And the 4 of us we're just standing there looking at this fucking atrocity in silence. And we were just like, well, fuck.
Oh, help the circle of life.
Yeah, it's the circle of life.
Seagull annihilates tiny fish.
Nature has been restored here today.
Oh my god.
No, but it was actually like a really fun experience.
How much was it to go out on the boat?
It was like about $100. So
Per person?
per
Or-
person,
oh,
per person,
wow.
and you can catch as much fish as you want. And afterwards, so you go catch the fish, and afterwards they have different services. So you can go to an izakaya where they can cook the fish, or you can go to an onsen. And so there was this onsen that we went to, which is perfect. Like if you're fishing for 4 hours, it's surprisingly tired.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like way more. Fishing on the sea is way more active than doing lake fishing or river fishing, right? Because you're battling against the current and you're constantly like it's way more active because I don't know what they call it, but they give you this little cage, right? So you got the bait, which is on the hook, and then next to the bait is this little cage where you basically stuff in like fish, like dead fishes or chum. Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why it's called a chum bucket. Oh my god, it makes so much sense now.
Chum is like just mashed up fish.
Yeah, so they gave us a chum bucket, I guess. I was struggling to find the words to describe this fucking thing. It's a chum bucket.
Man discovers SpongeBob for the first time.
So we had a chum bucket, and so we had to fill up this cage full of chum, and the cage itself would attract the fish school with the smell, and the bait itself would like attract the fish to bite on it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like the chum would like disintegrate within like a good five minutes. So like every 5 minutes you'd have to like put it down, pick it back up, put it down, pick it back up,
fill it up,
fill it up again, fill up the chum cage with more chum from your chum buckets, and so it was actually like way more of an active.
Can you guess what Gant's new favorite word is now?
We're gonna be hearing this a lot.
Chum.
And so it was a way more active. It was way more active than the other kind of fishing I experienced. So I was actually pretty tired. I worked up a good sweat, and my god, the onsen afterwards. You know how after a hard day's work, or how you've done after a hard day's work,
God catches one baby fish. Damn, that was a hard day.
That was a hard day. I was sweating up a storm there.
I'm gonna go and hit the Rio Cap, man. I was sweating up a storm getting that one fish.
I did catch one fish. I caught the biggest fish of the day.
Oh.
Sydney caught the most fish, but I caught the biggest fish of the day.
Whose was the tastiest though?
Huh?
Was yours the tastiest?
Mine was, of course, it was mine. Of
Wait,
course.
what fish did you catch?
The tasty one.
What type of fish do you have?
I can't remember the type of fish I had.
I believe it was a sea fish.
Maylin, do you remember the type of fish that we were catching?
Like a boot?
Yeah, a tire.
Sorry?
Horse mackerel.
Horse mackerel.
Oh, horse mackerel. Okay.
That's like that's like the shitty cheap fish, right? That's like the. That is though, right?
Yeah, that's the shit you put in a can.
That's like the cheap. Like when you go to sushi places, that's like the cheapest one.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah, it literally is. It's the white one, right?
Yeah. It's the cheapest one.
When you cut it open, it's like really, really white with the silver outline, right?
It's like the blue with like a little bit of yellow in the fish.
Yeah, maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe I'm just fucking.
Well,
stupid.
they do have like different services where you can catch different types of fish, but like the good fish.
That sounds cool though. I'd like to do that.
The good
That would
fish
have been
come
great if we
out.
got an invite.
Yeah,
would have been good for
next time.
a special, you know. Or,
Next time, because next time, because you go to this onsen, and while you're in the onsen, just chilling out with the boys or whatever, they're preparing your fish, right? So they take your fish, and so they take your catch and they feed it to you afterwards, which is
like, the way you said it. That just made me. I had the immediate image of somebody coming out.
Here's your horse mackerel, sir.
Open your mouth.
Here comes the airplane.
which is great. I mean, what better spice can you?
Why didn't you catch monkfish in RuneScape? That is a high level fish. Or shark.
You can catch
I think it was only
different
like level
types of
15
fish.
fishing or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't high enough level.
You can catch different
leveled up that fishing.
Yeah, you can catch different types of fish, but the best fish come out at like 7 a.m. So it's like a 7 a.m.
Oh,
boat.
yeah.
When I'm just like,
always the
you know what? I'd like to try fishing. I'm not
2
that
p.m. fishing's good
dedicated.
too.
That's like after 5 tries or something. That's when you're like dedicated. That's when you have like your own fishing rod and all that shit. You know.
Yeah, fuck that.
You know you're legit when you got your own equipment.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
Fishing rod is just one of those devices that I feel like is such a big investment just because of how annoying it is to maintain.
Oh yeah.
And like that shit breaks so easily.
Also, like, when you get, like, super serious, there's, like, different rods for different fish.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And it's like, oh my god. It's like...
I learned that from Tales of Rise.
I'm sure. I'm sure when if I'm 50 and I haven't decided the hobby yet, I think as a white person that is the default hobby I have. Fishing. Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah.
When I get to 50, we'll see.
That
if I have
and
a
golf
hobby.
are like the two things I'm gonna be like, yeah.
We'll see if I have a hobby by then. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I
Wait,
won't.
you don't have a hobby now?
No. I can't be streaming when I'm 50. I'll be like
course you
in my
can.
dentures and shitting myself. I can't.
Of course
do
you
that.
can. Isn't that old guy who's like used to stream RuneScape a lot?
The guy, the one that Keemstar.
Yeah, the one that Keemstar tried to
Oh,
fucking
God.
cancel.
Yeah,
he still streams, right? I'm pretty sure. I think so.
Oh shit, good for him.
Yeah. So there's a future, man.
I mean, maybe I'm already like low on energy now.
There's lots of people.
I don't know what I'm going to be
I'm
like.
sure, man.
You say that, but you stream more than me and Joey
Yeah.
combined.
Yeah, I feel like I'm really low on energy, but then you guys always don't stream much, so I don't know. Maybe
I think there's a difference though between low on energy and not being fucked.
Yeah. Right.
It's like I'm not low on energy. I just can't be fucked.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell if I'm low. No, I am low on energy a lot of the times because I have to like.
Who am I kidding?
Who am I kidding? I have to conserve my energy for trash taste. People think I talk a lot, and then no, it's just like I conserve.
Hey, chưa có đẹp. Chúc sao bèo tô màu, nhuộm xanh cuộc vui.
The president was immediately followed to the podium by Muammar Gaddafi, who hadn't addressed the UN in his 40 years as Libyan leader. And he seemed to feel he had 40 years' worth of things to say. And also on the UN schedule today, another international pariah, Iran's President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Here's Dan Harris.
Dressed in flowing brown robes, Muammar Gaddafi took to the podium today for his first ever UN speech, with apparently a lot to get off his chest. Reading from handwritten notes on scraps of paper, he started by calling President Obama a son of Africa and even my son. One flu virus had been created by an unnamed military, manhandled a copy of the UN Charter, and suggested the UN headquarters should be moved so he and others could avoid jet lag.